So guess what happened? I am so pissed off right now, and I'm so mad. I don't even want to do a tutorial right now, but I got much love for you because this is what happened. My twitchy finger decided to go stupid on me, and I accidentally, stupidly saved over my ninja model with the animation that I was working on. And because I have my my working project to always save in that location, when I was working on my animation, I just hit save, and it actually saved over a working file that I was pointing to. So what that means is that I lost the whole ninja model, and I had to remodel it. Pretty much. I think I just the head. I should come clear. I lost the head model, and I had to remodel the head. So it looks a little bit different than the other tutorial that I had, but I used the exact same techniques that I showed you, and I guess because I didn't want to re-record it because I didn't know how it was going to turn out, or just I already had the video out. So I didn't re-record it. I just went ahead and I spent some good, I don't know, 3 hours modeling the head again, and then I adjusted some of the torso. So I'm going to show you my newly head model ninja. And check this out. I added some pecs. So you guys can add this, it's nothing really complicated. As you can see here, all I did was, this stuff was like this, like it was shaped like this before, right? Something like this. Well, maybe not too much. And then it was like pushed in. It looked like that, right? So all you have to do is do that. So I'm gonna undo. So I push this stuff down, push that down, pushed it down, and then that was pretty much it. And then you grab this top stuff, and then you push it forward, to add the pecs. And then if you add 3 to smooth it out, that's sort of what it looks like. All right. So that's the only thing that I added to this. It's nothing like new that should completely surprise you. Just the only thing is, I went ahead and I added some more definition around the arm. I adjusted some of this. And here's something that I don't think I told you. I twisted, I don't know if I did or I didn't, but I went ahead and I twisted this stuff slightly forward. And I'll explain why when I attach the arm. But, pretty much, let's see if I can describe it right now. When you have your hand straight out flat like we modeled it, your muscle here actually it turns on top of itself, and it's only when you rotate your arm with your palms facing forward that your arm actually goes back to its normal position like this. So you have like two bones coming down here. When you turn your arm this way and you face your palm down, the bones cross over. So that's the reason why I rotated this, because your bones are sort of crossing over, and that's how we model the hand. So your arm will pretty much be positioned that way too. So just keep that in mind. The only thing I did, I just grabbed some of these vertices like that, and then I just rotated it. That's all I did. And then I went in here and I added some more, some more segments. And right here, I think I just added this edge loop, and then I connected it here. I think that's what I did, and then I just, I sort of split this apart, and then I went back here and I just connected it to the neck. So for the head, check it out. I just put these for reference. I can delete these, no big deal. But yes, I spent a whole lot of time, because I got much love for you guys, working on the head again. And you can see I didn't really add a lot of segments like I did actually with the other tutorial, but it just goes to show you, you can still make good models with just a little bit of polygons. I know you guys want to see it like realistic and you want to see it smooth and you want to just, you want to have it done. But if you want to do this professionally, you have to take it slow. You have to show your producers or your leads, what it's looking like, what your idea is. So you want to keep it low res before you actually, smooth it out. So this is what he looks like now. And I think I went and I added, some of the eyelashes, what do you call this? Eyelids. And then I did the same thing like we did before. So I added, I think 3. You can see I have 3 edge loops around here so I can get that hard edge. So you guys can check them out right here. Try to recreate some of this stuff. I went in from the eyebrow, so I have the eyebrow coming out here, and then I went in and then out for the why do I keep forgetting the name of this? The eyelids, and then bring this out. And what else did I do? The bridge of the nose still the same, still kind of funky looking, but I can adjust this later. It's not that crazy. The ears are the exact same way. You can see I extruded this out and then I merged these vertices like I did in the other tutorial. And then the jawline, I pretty much just created, like when I extruded that, I kept the extrusion going and then I just merged some of these vertices to get this little line happening here so that I can get a jawline down here. And then same thing how I modeled the other head. I capped this off down at the chin and then I extruded this little edge ring coming around the neck and then I attached it down to the body. So I know it sucks, but I think I did a slightly better job than I did on the other tutorial. But just hack at it. That's all I gotta say. Hack at it. I modeled this twice, so you guys can complain that if yours is looking crappy, start over. I did, and I think I did a better job the second time that I modeled this. Just maybe because I don't have the pressure. When I'm making the tutorials, I'm like, I gotta hurry, I gotta make it quick. But I just wanted to show you how I created the details. So because I sort of skipped out on that in that tutorial, I just want to show you my model. So even like this part here looks a little wacky. So I'm still just adjusting vertices. That's all I've been doing. I haven't added anything new. You can see it from the inside. It's just extruding and adjusting vertices. The nose, I just made it wider here and then back down. Made it narrow. I pushed some of this stuff in. So like these vertices, I pushed them in. They were out here like this and I just pushed them in. Not too much happening with the cheekbone anymore. I sort of forgot to add that, but it's still happening. The jaw, I could probably continue to push this out some more. So maybe like these 2 vertices, I can smooth it out and I can push this forward or something so I can get a better definition. Or actually maybe these. I think it's these guys. And then just push this out. Same thing with these guys. Hit 3. So this will give me more of a square jawline. Not too crazy. So that's pretty much it. So actually what I'm going to do in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to finally combine all this stuff. So a lot of this stuff I kept it the same. I still did the same thing down here, adding the segments and this stuff. The feed, I did it the exact same way. I still had all that stuff happening down there. And so because of this, I'm going to show you now how to combine everything. So I'm going to actually bring in the arm. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to File, Import. Now, this is how you bring other stuff into your scene. Alright, so it's going to actually bring it in together with this. It's not going to open it separately. Like, if we do open, it's just going to get rid of this scene and open another one. So we need to do something called import, which, if you think about it, importing means, to bring stuff in. Like we say, we import, food from China, means they bring it in. So that's what it means. And we also have, I think, export, which means that you're going to save out only certain things. Like, say for example, I only wanted to save the head. I can select the head and go File, Export Selection. That means I'm only going to save out the head separately. So you guys can do that. You can save out separate pieces. Like, say for example, you have a huge environment. You have cars, buildings, light posts, and you only want to save, like, say a car. You can just select the car and say Export Selection. Alright? And then say you wanted to bring it into this scene, you'll say Import. And then you can just select the file of the car, and then you'll have it in here. So that's how import export works. Alright, so I'm going to import, I believe is a hand 2. I think that's where I left off on my last tutorial. So just select the file and do import. And then wait for it, and then boom. Now you might be thinking, what in the world is this? This is our big ol' hand, and I think this is the wrong one. So I think it was hand without number 2. So you cannot undo this. I just need to, go ahead and delete it. I'm gonna go to my outliner, go to hand. Anything that says hand, I'm just gonna hit delete. I'm gonna do it again. File, import. So I believe it's just this one, the one that says hand, because I don't have another file there. Import, and there we go. So this is the legit one I'm supposed to get. So now, remember, like I told you, since we modeled this separately from the Ninja, it came in huge. We were probably modeling it really huge, and I told you, don't worry about it, because even though we're modeling, the shape and the volume and at the same proportions that a hand should have, it doesn't matter, because all I have to do is grab this scale tool, or I can do it here. Make sure you scale on all 3 axes, because if you just scale in one direction, that doesn't do you any good. So grab all 3 of them, and then just scale this. Scale this down maybe 0.2. Let me move this over. So still pretty big. It looks like one of those the Dodger hands. When you go to a baseball game, we're number 1. We're number 1. Maybe 0.1. Let's try that. So, see, it even imported the image planes that I had. So I don't want to see this. The way you delete this stuff, check this out. You need to go to Window, Rendering Editors, and then there's a window called Hypershade. So click on that, and I'm just gonna get rid of my arm images, not the arm, the hand. So go to, I think it's textures, utilities, and then you can select the hand image, hit delete, and then this one too, hit delete, and then that gets rid of those. So now let's close this, go back to, actually I need to rotate this, so let's go ahead and see which one rotates it this way. So rotate in the 90 degrees negative. You can see it says negative, so negative 90 will make my hand go straight out this way. So now I'm gonna move the pivot, insert, okay, hit insert and then hold V as in vertices, to snap to the back of my hand, and then hit insert again. This way I can grab it and, you know, rotate it from that axis point. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna snap that. I'm gonna snap that vertex to this vertex. So hold the V, middle mouse click and drag and snap it. Now you can see that our hand is still pretty large. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna freeze transformation so that I can zero all this out and then have my scale back to 1 so I can do it incrementally. So I'm gonna do modify freeze transformation, and then that zeros everything and then it brings back the scale to 1. So now again I can come in here and then do maybe a finer adjustments, 0.8. Try that 0.8. Move it over, maybe a 0.7. I'm gonna stick with the 0.7, but it still looks a little funky. So let me go to the side. So yeah, I don't know why you can't see it on my viewport here, because I have show all. So that's what I'm saying. I think Maya 2013 is glitchy. Like if you have an image playing behind it or something, I think it just won't show it to you. So actually the wrist should go way out here and then my hand should be over here. But because I can't see my hand, let me see if doing this X-ray thing works again. So I guess only when I do X-ray it works. And it has to be shaded mode. So hit 5 on your keyboard. And then from here I'm going to go back to 0.8. And then I'm going to rotate this down. Maybe a 0.9. I don't know if that might be a little too much. Maybe let's go in between 0.85. So I think that's good enough. And then from here I'm gonna move this out. So go back to X-ray. Maybe I'm just gonna grab this stuff and then just push it forward. And then this I'm gonna rotate some more. And then from here push it back some more. I'm gonna grab these edges and I'm just gonna extrude one more time and move them out here. And then with this, go to vertices and then rotate this to match the angle of the hand here and bring it closer. Okay, so now we have our arm here. And then we'll need to push this stuff in. something like that. And rotate this up. So I'm happy with that. So I don't think it's updating on this side because I freeze the transformation. So let me try it again. Jeez. Let me do this duplicate special. This guy, I'm gonna do the same thing. Modify, do it again. Freeze transformation. And this, I'm gonna grab the pivot point and snap it back to the center of the grid. Insert and do another edit, duplicate special, and that'll pop the hand on the other side. So now this is our complete ninja model. So all I need to do now is combine everything. Now at this point, I'm actually gonna get rid of this half. I know I did the duplicate special, but I thought I was gonna keep working on this stuff over here. So actually right now, because we're pretty much close to being done, what you want to do is hit 3 and make sure that you're happy with where you are, and you want to save this. So let's go ahead and do a file. Make sure you're on the right one, because I screwed this up pretty bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a model 9 this time. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with this. If I'm not happy with it and I combine everything and I want to adjust one side, there's a way to mirror the same actions that you do to the other side once it's combined. But just to make it easier, make sure you're happy with your model. Make sure you're happy with your arm, your whole body here, and everything is pretty much complete, and you're ready to combine all of this, because you're not gonna adjust it anymore. Let's say you just do this. All right, so here's what you do. I'm gonna get rid of this half and this half, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a select everything, right? And then this is how you bring all these separate pieces together. You do mesh, make sure you're under polygons, mesh, and then you do combine. So just to make sure everything works, do edit, reset, right? And then hit apply and close, or if it's good, just combine it. Combine. Now what does this do? It combine all these separate pieces into one. So if I just select, say, the hand, you can see everything gets selected, right? Now this does not mean that this is one piece now. It is still two separate pieces. It's just put together, but it's not merged. All right, nothing is merged. You don't want to rig this or animate this in any way. It's just combined. If I do mesh separate, see, they're still separate pieces. All right, so keep that in mind. Mesh combine or mesh separate. So once I combine it, now I can merge them because they belong together. If they're separate, I cannot merge them. Cannot merge vertices. But because they're together now, I can. So keep in mind where some of this stuff is not merged. So you can see the creases, right? We had this crease for the neck because it's not merged to the vertices from the neck to the body, and we have this crease because it's not merged from the arm to the torso, and so on, right? So let's start off with the neck. So grab this. We're gonna go around doing this to everything, and then just merge all these vertices together. So I'm just selecting this, just everything, and that the seam, right? So now let's hit 3 and check that out. that line is now gone because everything is combined. Everything is merged, right? Now do the same thing. Look at where your creases are. So it's this line here. Grab this. Hit G because that was the last tool that we used. You can even go into wireframe. I'm going to come all the way around here. Merge these guys. I think that was it. So hit 5, object mode, and 3. Now if I go around, you don't see that seam anymore. Everything is now pieced together. And of course you can come in here, and before we mirror this over, you can do any adjustments that you want before you actually switch to the other side. So I can come in here and let's say I wasn't happy with that. I want to bring this and make it more muscular or whatever. Then I can certainly go ahead and add this right now. So I want some volume to his muscles. He's a ninja. Ninja. So there. I'm happy with this. You always want more muscle, more muscle. Okay, so we got rid of that. Actually, it's way too much muscle. It looked too weird, but okay, whatever. I think it's this. Jeez. Actually, I think I overdid the muscle thing. Okay, whatever. Let's go over here. Where's the other crease? We haven't even merged this stuff. So let's go to vertex. Grab some of this stuff so we can zoom in. Hit 1. And then here's the fun part. Finding out which ones you can merge together. Because the hand obviously has so much resolution, and then the arm and the wrist here doesn't. So we need to find a way to connect this. So let's just go ahead, and I'm gonna do the arm, no, the hand to the arm, not the other way around. So maybe those guys can snap there. So again, snap the obvious. Maybe this guy to here, and then this bottom one to here. So okay, we have accomplished something. So grab this guy, do it there, and then from here, I don't want to add too much resolution to this guy yet, so I don't want to like add loops, edge loops in here. So I want to merge some of this stuff. So I'm going to merge the ones that I have connected. Hit G. Oop, and I see one more. Merge that. So move some of this stuff around now. You can probably merge these guys. Merge this stuff. Whoa, what happened here? Undo. So I think I just selected the bottom vertex and it merged it up to the top one. So merge those guys. So let's do this again. Merge. Grab these. Merge. Grab these. Merge. Probably grab these. Grab these. I'm just gonna grab this guy. Pop it over there. Let's see if I can pull out some geometry. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull some stuff out from down here. So like maybe there. And then over here, I'm gonna do the same thing here. Hit enter. This guy, I don't wanna add too much stuff here. But let's go ahead and let's say we're gonna add one there. And then from this side, let's see if I can pull one out from here. Now, you know what? I'm not gonna do it there. I'm gonna do it down here. Alright, so now let's go ahead and start combining some of this stuff. So this guy, I'm just gonna pop it up over there. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna come around and then just merge everything. Merge. Grab this, merge. Select them both, hit G. This guy, hit G. This guy. All of these. Alright, that's pretty much it. And hand. Let me check out the top view. I'm gonna grab some of this stuff and then just scoot it over. I'm gonna check a look. And again, you can keep adjusting this however you want. Like all this stuff, I can pop it even further down just to give it that volume. Rotate this like that. This is where the thumb is, so this has the most meat at the bottom. Chunky meat. Chunky monkey. And then this stuff can be pushed out. Object mode. Alright, so let's say we're done. Hit 3, check it out, see how smooth it looks. Make sure there's no creases. Alright, I'm happy with that. Now again, before we do the next step, make sure that you're happy with this, and let's get right to it. So this is what we're gonna do now. You could do this the long ways, which is just like we did duplicate special. You can change it now to do just not an instance, but do a copy. And what that will allow you to do is you can just, let me do it. So here we have a copy of it. So again, we need to combine them because you can see they're separate pieces, right? So you can't merge these until they're combined. So we're gonna do this. You can do mesh, combine. Okay, now it's one piece, but remember, look down the center. You still see that line. That's because the vertices down the center were not merged. So you need to go in here and do this manually, like come in here and select both of those, go down, select those two. You need to come in here and then make sure that everything, like these little, see, it's pretty hard. All these things are merged. That's gonna take quite some time because you need to go all the way around, down to the crotch, down to the back. Oh yeah, and then to the back, or oh no, and then up to the head, and then hopefully you got them all. So we're not gonna do it this way. There's actually another way that'll do it for you. So let's get rid of this guy. And I think I haven't used it in a while, but it's mirror geometry. There you are. So go to make sure you're under polygons menu, mesh, and then at the bottom it says mirror geometry, and let's check out the options because I'm not even sure which way it's gonna go. So okay, you guys are familiar with the X, Y, and Z arrows here, right? So your X is this red one, which you can see if you go to the right, the numbers here are positive. If you go to the negative, it's to the left. If we go up, it's the Y. Up is positive, down is negative. The Z, forward is positive, back is negative. So this is going to tell you how do you want to mirror this. Just pretend you have a mirror and you want to flip this side this way. You have your X on this side. So like we said, X to the right is positive. That's not the way we want to mirror this. We want to mirror this guy to the left side, right? So it's going to be negative X. So you can see here we already have that one checked off. So I think if you go to a reset, this is going to be set as your default. So it's going to say mirror and a positive X, which is wrong. And you want to do negative X because I just showed you why. And then here's the thing. You want to do merge with the original, and you want to merge vertices because this will automatically do it for you. This is a very cool tool because it's just everything is done for you. All you got to do is tell it what direction you want to flip the other half, and then just merge and then hit mirror. And then now check this out. It combined it for you, and if I just select one vertex, check it out. It's already merged. So there's no problems here. And if I go and I do a 3, check this out. You don't see that line in the middle because everything should be merged or combined together. Now sometimes you might run into problems because what it does is it grabs the vertices that are close together, and it will combine it. If it has vertices next to it, it'll actually combine those vertices with it. So right here you can see it probably grabbed some of the vertices that were right next to it. Let me see if I can zoom in. You see how it combined that? And I didn't want that, and it combined it down here too. It pinched it. So you can redo this, just cut it, or I think you can set a tolerance. Let me undo this. Let me see if there's a tolerance. No, actually, let me do it. I think it's. Let me do this again. Merge geometry. And I think if I go down here. Yeah, see, if we come up here to our history, you see it says poly mirror 1 under inputs. So if I select that, you see it says pivot X, pivot Y, pivot Z, direction, negative X. And then it has here merge threshold. That's like how close or how far apart the vertices that are around it are gonna be combined. So you can probably set this number even lower so that if you have close vertices, it won't actually merge them together. I mean, it'll merge them, but it won't bring other vertices around it to one point like it did right here. So let's try, I don't know, 0.02. And then you can see here, it actually let this the vertex go. So it was welded or merged to these guys, and it actually let it go. Now we want to take care of this pinching problem here. So let's bring this down even lower, like I don't know, a 0.01, and let's see what that does. So there was some pinching in the eye, and when I got rid of this 0.01, see, the eyeball went back. So you get some of that stuff back. Let me try a 0.002, and then this one seems to work. So there's less of a tolerance between the vertex, and I think this one did a good job. So if I come up here, where are my vertices? Whoa. Yeah, I think this one did a really good job. Now I have all of my stuff back. So this one is still up here. This stuff is still happening over here. You have this one out here. So let me hit 3 to see what's up. And yep, you can definitely see that there's no more pinching happening in there. So that's actually very useful. So again, you might want to save this as a separate file just so you can keep the other one separate, where you had your stuff separated and it wasn't combined, because sometimes you might want to go back to that file and maybe you weren't happy with something you modeled and you want to make changes to it. So that's why it's important to keep that separate from this file here, right? So you can see here now, because I added more lines, more segments, you see some more lines, but that actually, I think that helps it. It makes it look more like a muscle there. And then from here on, you're pretty much done. This is our ninja model. Now, I don't know if I explained this in the beginning as to why most models are or characters are modeled with their hands going out to the side. And I don't know if I explained this or not. It's because your arms are actually halfway between, going up or going to the side of your body. And because when you want to skin this, or you want to start adding the bones so you can add controls so you can animate it, you want to be halfway in between, moving your arm up and moving it down. Because if you have this modeled with your arm down, think about it. How are you going to get in between like the armpit area to model it good and to get a clear view of what's going on? And then when you move it up, you're going to have so much distance to go from the bottom all the way when the arm reaches up. So you want to make sure that it's sort of halfway in between, like it is right now. It's halfway between going up and halfway between going down. So this is the reason why it's modeled like Jesus, like a T pose. They call this the T pose because he's forming a T. So that's pretty much it for the whole ninja modeling tutorial. I think from here you guys can, you know how to model anything. You can model a house, you can model, if you want to model a car, it's pretty much the same technique of bringing in images, but I'll probably do a tutorial about this later on. So I hope you guys really enjoy this tutorial. That's pretty much how everything works when modeling characters. Now again, this is a very sort of low res, so to finish it off, the grand finale is adding a smooth. Now once you do this, I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to clear your history. So go delete under edit, delete by type, and history. Now if you look over here, everything disappeared. So this is like saying this is it. I'm done modeling. I got rid of everything. You might want to come in here and do modify center pivot. So if we look at the pivot right now, it's pretty much on his hips. So if I center it, it actually moved it a little bit, but it center it directly right in between the whole character. And then what I like to do is, make sure everything is zeroed out. So I'll do a edit, modify, and then freeze transformation. And then this will make sure that everything is pretty much like you're starting fresh, but now it's just the model. So this is a pretty cool technique to do. Center your pivot, and then freeze transformation, and then delete your history. And then from here, now you're ready to do the last step, which is I'm gonna just select the model, and then check this out. Go to mesh, and you see down here it says smooth. That's how you smooth your character. So if I hit smooth, it is now smooth. I did not hit 3 on my keyboard. This is still under like showing the polygons, but it actually, check this out, it added more geometry. This is why you want to keep it fairly low res, because say you modeled something like this and then you added a smooth, this is gonna add so many, like millions of polygons, and it's gonna be so heavy for your computer that you won't even be able to animate it. So this is important, why you guys follow along with what I'm saying, and keep that in mind. And let's say you're not happy with this. Now come down here to your inputs. Now this should be the only thing you have, because we cleared our history. And if you see here it says divisions, if you want to make this even smoother, let me go back there. It says divisions, you can crank that up to like 2, and then that'll divide it even more and make it even like just crazy smooth. So you can see some areas that if it looks like this, like you see a kink there or a little kink there, probably means you need to probably smooth it out when it was just low res. But pretty much the result that you get when you hit 3 while you're modeling in poly, that's the result you're gonna get when you smooth it out. So again, you can take a look around. Everything is working well. Now here's something important to understand. Now because you applied this and you're like, well, how do I take it off? You need to come back here to poly smooth face and go back to divisions and set it to 0. Setting it to 0 will show you back your original model that you had. So make sure that if you want to make adjustments to your model, you turn off the smooth. Alright, turn this off. Go back here, make adjustments. Now typically if you turn this off and then you go back and you make adjustments, like say for example, I don't know, you grab some of this stuff and you move it around or whatever, sometimes once you go back and you turn it back on, you see what happens? It craps out. So what you need to do is, set it back to 0. Alright, and then just forget about this smooth. Just pretend it never existed. It's already set to 0, so don't worry about it. Go back and add another smooth. Well, select your model first and then do a smooth. Then now you see it didn't crap out now. It just, whatever you had, you see now you have poly smooth face 2. So now with this one, you can go in here and make it even smoother, right? So just keep that in mind. Sometimes the other one won't work, so I'm gonna undo this. And the thing is, you don't want to add a smooth and then work on it, because sometimes you can't undo the smooth, right? Like you don't want to come in here and do a mesh smooth and then you go, oh, okay, it looks good. I just want to fix this part, like right here, and I'm just gonna keep that smooth on, and I'm just gonna adjust my own stuff, and then you go, alright, I'm happy with it. And because you're adjusting all this stuff, you're gonna get a lot of stuff in your history. So you might lose your smooth somewhere down your history, or say for example you do another, let's say you're modeling and you forgot you had to smooth, and you do a delete history. Now check this out. If I select my model and I go, let me undo the smooth, guess what? It's gone. So the reason why I did the clear history before I added to smooth was because I want my smooth to appear here and I want it to stay on there. So this is important, you need to understand that. That's why I'm talking a lot about the smooth, because a lot of you guys will add a smooth and you want to make changes, but you don't see it here anymore, or you just have too many polygons and you just don't know what to do. So you want to make sure, let me undo this. You want to make sure that the smooth, watch, 0, and I'm gonna delete this stuff. Delete by type, history. So there, everything's gone. Mesh, smooth. You want to make sure that the smooth is the last thing that you add. This way you have it here. So like I said, if you want to make changes, turn it off, make changes, and then you probably need to get rid of that smooth and add another smooth. Alright, so with that in mind, I think now I'm done. Your model is now smooth. You have the smooth, what they call node inputs here, so you can I think none of this really matters too much. I think continuity, it doesn't do much. I think if I do 2 and add this 2, doesn't do much. Now what you want to get away from is you never want to go past like 3. So if I do 3, check that out. I don't know if your computer is fast or not, but sometimes if you're gonna animate this and move it, there is no way you guys will be able to animate this. So I'd keep away from 3 and anything higher than 3. So just 2 if you need something super smooth. 1, this is pretty good for a smooth of 1 division. So I know I'm talking too much, but again, this is it. The model is done. I hope you enjoyed this. Add the eyeballs if you want, just like I had them. And then that's it. If you like this tutorial, subscribe. Check out my Facebook. I have a Twitter, but I don't spend too much time on Twitter. So check out my facebook.com/animationmethods. And if you have a comment, if you're happy with your model, send a picture there, upload it. I like to share that stuff, and you can get comments from other people that I have there, and I'm more than happy to give you suggestions. So hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, and I'll be making some more. So, chat you guys later.